It's a gorgeous Sunday afternoon to hit another rail trail. Stick around if you want to find out which one I'm going to be riding today. Today's video has me here in Temple, Pennsylvania, right outside of Reading, and I am here to explore another rail trail, one that I haven't been on before, so this is my first time checking it out. This is the, I guess you could call it the Muhlenberg Township Trail, and it is a very short rail trail here that goes from Temple just about down to the city of Reading and goes through the borough of Laureldale. This was once known as the East Penn High Line, which was the line that came out of Reading Yard, went through this area, and continued on to Blandon and what is now known as the Harrisburg, Norfolk Southern Harrisburg East. They later built a lower grade line that bypassed this one, but ran into some problems in the 1980s when they were planning on abandoning this line here, which I'll explain once we get started in the heading down the trail and everything. So it is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here, mid-October. Was very sunny out, but when I left my place to take the drive up here, and by the time I got here, it's now cloudy, but doesn't look like there's going to be any rain or anything. And today I'm going to be riding the scooter, since this is going to be a relatively short trip, probably about 4 miles, 5 at the most. Decided to dig out the scooter and bring it and take it for a run, since it's been a while since I ran it. So let's get mounted on the scooter and check out this rail trail. And we're off. It's a good thing I dug the scooter out here, because I forgot what it's like to ride this thing. Been so used to riding the e-bike. Often forget about this thing, but it needs to get ran, so today's the perfect day and the perfect trail to bring this out and give it a good run. So I don't know what we're going to find along the way here. We're going to see any remains of the former railroad, but looks like so far it's pretty neat. It looks like it's going to be macadam the whole way for us. Just passing over an old bridge now, and judging by the width of the bridge, it is big enough that there could have been double tracks through here, which I'm sure there was at one time. Lots of placards and boards along the way here. Not quite sure what they're all about, because they don't have that much information on them. Seems to be some people out on the trail enjoying this fall day. Leaves are turning, falling. Good day to get out and ride. So I did stop and check out what all these boards are that we're passing along here. Apparently there's some kind of storybook line along here for kids that you use the QR code that's on there to scan, and whatever it is comes up on your phone. We are coming up to our first crossing here, and I'm not quite sure what road this is, but I will check it out. This is one of the grade crossings, and any pictures that I find online of when this line was active, I'll go ahead and insert them in here during the video. But the story behind this and why it was abandoned, again, this was at one time the East Penn Hill line, and East Penn Railroad was the line that came through this area here just before Reading, Philadelphia and Reading Railroad, and then Reading Railroad, Conrail, and now Norfolk Southern, and all that other, changes and everything. That was the name of this at one time. So the reason they abandoned this rail line was because of the steep grade coming out of Reading Yard. Trains that would come through, that would come up this grade, it was so steep that they had to put pushers on the back to get the trains up this hill. May not look like it's that steep, but it is coming out of Reading Yard. So they went and built what was called the Blandon low grade, which is now the Norfolk Southern Main Line, and bypassed this line. They were going to abandon it. In fact, they did start to abandon it in the mid-80s. I believe it was around 1984 was when they took the switch out in Blandon that branched off onto this line. We had a torrential tropical storm come through, and the Blandon low grade ran by the Berks Products Quarry, which is down here in Temple. All that rain caused the track to erode away, and there was a landslide into the quarry, and it took out the entire rail bed. In fact, when the landslide occurred and took out the railroad, there was a train on it at the time, and the engineers and conductor felt something go wrong with the train, and the train stopped abruptly, and the conductor got out, walked back to see what was going on. He radioed up to the engineer and told him, "You better come back here, you're not going to believe what just happened." And they walked back, and all the coal cars, coal hoppers, were down in the quarry. Needless to say, the rail line and rail service in this area was crippled. Any trains that wanted to get to Allentown, or Allentown that wanted to head out to Harrisburg, could not get through because of this. So there was a mad scramble to reinstall the switch in Blandon and activate this rail line that we're on right now again, and have the trains on this line come down, go through Reading Yard, and get back out onto the other main line that heads out towards Harrisburg or down to Pottstown and Abrams Yard. It took a couple days, I believe, for them to get the switch back in. It wasn't very long, but until the time frame that it took for them to rebuild the rail bed over by the quarry where the landslide was probably, I believe, about 8 months. And again, if I have any information or find the actual story behind this, I'll go ahead and put a link at the bottom of the screen there or in the description field. You can go and read the information and learn more about this line and the mishap that happened there in 1984. But after they got the rail bed rebuilt and everything, they again removed the switch and abandoned the line, and it wasn't very long after they removed the tracks here completely, and the townships and municipalities along here, the land was turned over to them, and they turned it into what is now this nice little walking and biking trail. I am not finding too many remains along here of the railroad. And it looks like we're down in Laureldale already. Maybe not. Have to check to see what bridge this is up here that we're going to be going under. Hi. So I did stop here, and believe it or not, this is the end of the rail trail. I don't even think it was 2 miles, but I am down here close to where the old Exide battery place used to be that you can see off in the distance there. But this is the Montrose Avenue trailhead. This is where you can park and hop on. So we are going to head back because you really can't tell where the rail bed used to go here. I believe it was right, literally right down here, but they built it up a little bit to get up here into the parking lot. Would have been nice if it would have continued on a little bit more, but who knows, with property rights and everything else, they could only make it this far. So we're gonna head back. And enjoy the ride back and make a stop at the Fresh Valley Road grade crossing there and insert that picture that I wanted to. I did not realize that this trail was going to be so short. Thought it was a little longer, but we might take another trip here since we're in the area and check out something that I wanted to over the summer. Check out the progress on something close by here that I showed in previous videos. All right, so here is the Fresh Valley Road grade crossing, and I will go ahead and put that picture in here so you can see what it looked like when the rail line was in here. So no remains along here, no rail ties, no rail, no insulator trees, nothing remains of the railroad except the bed here. So no remains along here, no rail ties, no rail, no insulator trees, nothing remains of the railroad except the bed here. I did find something back here that I'll stop and get a picture of. Looks like this here could have very well been a signal tower right there. So this is a little bit longer than I expected as far as round trip. Right now we are at 3.1 miles and probably add a couple tenths of a mile on there because I forgot to start this right at the parking lot. So just over 6 miles round trip is this rail trail. So we're going to load the scooter back up into the car, and since I'm only about 4 miles away from another location, we're going to go over there and give you an update as to something that's being done over there. All right, so what was a flash for you guys was actually a couple mile trip down the road here, probably about 4 miles from Temple there, down here to Wyomissing at the Berks Leisure Center down here along the Union Canal Towpath. So what I want to do is take a nice drive up to where that lock is that I filmed numerous times in other videos, and check the construction progress with it of them restoring that lock. So got plenty of juice in the scooter. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll be able to make the trip up and back. So I do want to correct myself though. I did look at my run keeper. The total trip over there on the rail trail there in Temple, total trip was 3.2 miles, not 6 miles like I stated there. So let's get moving here and head on down the trail. It wasn't busy when I pulled in here, but just my luck, there's a ton of cars that pulled in right after me, and people just got out and started walking down the trail. So we'll have to contend with that, which is fine. But going to be a nice ride here in the evening. It's getting a little later in the afternoon here. It's probably closer to 4 o'clock. So enjoy the ride up there, and hopefully they made some progress on reconstructing that lock that's there. There's a better view pulled over here to show you all the algae and slime that is growing in the lock. But there was definitely not any work done here at all this year. So this might be all that they're going to do with the lock as far as restoring it. Just basically getting rid of the vegetation and getting rid of all the rotted wood that's here. Well, that was certainly a little disappointing back there to find that don't believe they're going to be doing any more work on that lock there and restoring the wood. They're just going to leave it as it is there with the stonework. So time to venture on back to the vehicle and call it a day. Sun's starting to go down here a little bit, but still got plenty of daylight and plenty of battery. So enjoy the ride back. Well, there you go, a nice ride on two trails on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening here in mid-November. The rail trail over there in Temple, and then the Union Canal trail over here in Wyomissing, and riding all the way up through some familiar territory up to check out the lock up there. And again, a little disappointed that they didn't restore the wood or anything in it there, and just basically cleared the brush out and touched up some of the stonework. But fantastic day. Thanks for coming along, and until next time, it's have a ball and do it all. We'll see you soon.